2004 draft. All right, it is 525 on double X 1090. 425, whatever. It's not important. Most of you are going to listen to this on the podcast anyway. We are from the Cox Communication Studios. Philip Rivers was drafted in the year 2004. He has done who knows how many interviews on this radio station. Yet today, and unbeknownst to yours truly, because Marty loves doing these little tricks, she tells me that Philip Rivers is good enough to give us a couple minutes. I figured he's going to call in. And for the first time since being selected by the Giants, then traded to the Chargers, Philip Rivers must really be bored during an NFL lockout, because he is here live in the Cox Communication Studios wearing a Country Time Lemonade t-shirt. Philip Rivers, it is good to see you in person. And to what do we owe this honor?
Oh, nothing. It's good to be here. Now I know how good you have it, though. This is great. You got 6 flat screens and you're hanging out. No, you're right. I am a little bit bored because I don't crank my car to go many places, mostly to the facility and back. Since that place is crossed off the list, this was my outing for the day.
So this is literally the first time, and Marty, of course, has to be a sneak. Now, how did she talk you into coming in here, or is it just taking advantage of your boredom?
Yeah, I mean, she's just asked for the 7 years multiple times, and always said, well, yeah, maybe, but it always turns into a phone call. So I thought I'd be nice enough to stop by.
So now that you are here, can we look forward to your next appearance being in another 7 years, or do you think maybe we'll entice you? Did you find traffic agreeable? Was it okay? Did we find it all right?
Oh yeah, directions were great. No, it was good, but I have 7 years to get one more in.
That's right. Yeah, you got a 14-year career here in San Diego. One more time in 7 years. I don't know who's going to be doing this. You'll probably be on the air with Marty. Yeah, I'll probably be. Well, I've worn out my welcome by then, for sure. No question about that one.
Oh shoot, they won't run you out of here.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good to see you. How's your off season?
It's been good. I mean, you know, the first couple months were just kind of as usual, but then obviously now we're in a little bit of a different situation, so it hadn't been quite as smooth these last few weeks, but we'll get through it.
Well, you're a guy who lives here, as I think people know, and I would imagine, how much time would you be spending at the facilities if you were allowed to this time of year?
I usually lifted with that 7:30 group, so I would go at, you know, get in there about 7 and leave probably. I mean, this time of year I'd be out of there 10:30, 11 o'clock. So, you know, just the morning hours. And obviously that would grow as we got into May and June, but it was still, you know, I think the thing is, it's such routine. You're just so used to the whole thing and having it available, and now to you know, have it completely not available is quite a change.
So what are you doing to replace it besides coming to radio shows?
Well, I mean, we're trying to get things going where we work out together and at least have it available to where we have something there for guys that are in town. Obviously, some guys use their own trainer, some guys are out of town. And I think it's too early to think, hey, we need to hurry up and get things started. But I think you have to prepare for football to be here in the fall. And I think you know, there's no excuse. You don't get to say, hey, bear with us. We're not really playing good right now. You know, so I think we have to go with the mindset we want to get better, be better than we were last year, and you know, that's our job. And so I think, as the months progress, should this go throughout the summer, we'll be more and more getting together and trying to keep improving.
Now, are you the guy? I mean, are you the ringleader for all things happening in during the time period here that we're in the lockout? Are you the guy who's kind of the ringleader, trying to get everybody together and organized?
I mean, I think somewhat, yeah. I mean, I think that, and I think you should be as a quarterback. But at the same time, I think we got a good group of guys, of core guys that have been here, that are kind of, we're all communicating through, you know, and they're able to spread the word and keep guys updated. Obviously, Nick being the player rep, Jeremy Clary, those guys are obviously keeping us filled in on things that are happening. So there's a lot of communication there that we all have. I think one big positive we have here is, and I've said it for years, what a close group we have. And what a close group we are. But, you know, you have D linemen that really enjoy being around one another. You have the offensive linemen that enjoy being around all these position groups, the DBs, the linebackers. So I think that'll really help us because it's going to be a challenge to get 55 guys together.
Sure.
But the defensive line can get together and do some things, football-wise, as this summer progresses. The offensive line, the DB. So I think having that some tight-knit groups within the position will help us.
Well, I also would have to think that so many of you guys like yourself who live here, that also is a huge benefit. What are the Minnesota Vikings going to do? I can't imagine a lot of those guys live in Minneapolis or the Twin Cities.
No, yeah, I agree. And guys do live here, in large part in the off season, and guys do like to be here and be around. And the other thing is they're so used to having the off season program. I mean, we probably have as good of attendance when we had the program as anybody in the league. So guys are it's kind of in their clock it's time to go, and so I think that's going to help us too. And it's more than. I don't try to fool anybody and say, hey, if you're not doing your bench press and your power clean, we're not going to, make sure. But it's more about those things are part of it. We all know that, but it's more about being together. It's more about being around each other. You go January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, and we're not around each other, and all of a sudden you try to get something together in a few weeks and go win a game. It's not going to happen.
So you're not going to crack the whip, even though you got coaching in your blood. You're not going to crack the whip on guys.
Well, I don't think it's urgent right now. I don't think it's urgent right now. I mean, some guys I talk to are out of town, and I go, stay out of town. Right now, there's nothing to do March 23rd, that we need people to come back for. But I think we have to prepare for the worst and prepare to what are we going to do August 1st if it's still a lockout? Are we going to, and that's kind of why I'm trying to set the foundation and get the communication going to where we're able to have a plan and go with it, should that be the case.
We're talking to Philip Rivers, who's in studio. So did you start thinking about that plan? Is it in its infancy stages? Did you start thinking about it in the regular season, towards the tail end of the season? When do you start thinking about, what would be a good place for all of us to go hang out and go work out together and throw a football around a little bit?
Well, I think it's still in its early stages, just because I knew we were going to know of a lockout on March, whatever it ended up. Obviously, they got the extension, and you have the month of March to kind of really get all those things ironed out. You have early April, so I didn't want to do too much groundwork beforehand because I was the optimistic guy I am.
Of course, I
still kind of had the hopes that we'd be going as usual.
Did you talk to Norv about it? When it was still okay to talk to Norv?
Yeah, how about that? Not really. And I think even when it was still okay, you really weren't supposed to come up with a plan for the lockout. So, I think he knows. I think our coaches know. I think around the league, coaches know. And I read a few things today where some coaches said, if our guys can't, if they don't know how to go work and know how to do the things they need to do, then we don't have the right guys. And so we have the right guys, and Norv knows we know what to do. And I think we'll have an advantage, not necessarily advantage, but we'll be one of the teams that have the guys in place, have had the same system in place to where I think we'll be able to handle this adversity.
Would you guys ever bring somebody from the outside in? Like, would you ever bring a former coach who maybe is not working, or a trainer or somebody like that in case a guy rolls an ankle, or is it just going to be orchestrated and run by the players?
I think I prefer to keep it just the players. I think there's something about taking ownership in something and getting it done on our own, and that won't be done by me. It'll be done collectively. But I think there's something for that if we can get it done on our own, and we come together and we do those things and we push guys and we get it going. I mean, there's as bad as unfortunate as it is that we're in this situation, there's something about it that's it's exciting a little bit. It's kind of that challenge of who can withstand this. If this goes the next 4, 5, 6 months, who can withstand it and still come out on top? Because who was it? The Redskins that won? The one, did they win 2 in the strike year, or they win 2? Whatever they won, they still count the same.
Right, yeah.
Say, that one,
forgot that one. Yeah.
So anyway, I'm confident. We're all confident there'll be football and there'll be a Super Bowl, and Super Bowl 46 will take place in Indy, and we're going to try like crazy to be the team that's there.
Well, you guys have had some success in that building. Now, will you let anybody come to some of your workouts or some of your sessions? Like, let's say you have a guy who's a free agent, who everybody thinks, he's going to come back to the Chargers, right? Do you let him come, or is it just for guys who are going to be on the Chargers next year? San Diego, big spot for a lot of other players. Do you let guys like Aaron Rodgers come in? Do you let other teams guys come in? How do you work it out?
Well, I think I think those guys on other teams probably already have a plan in place. We know there's a bunch of guys that like to train here in San Diego and do their own thing. But I think guys on our team that are potential free agents, certainly. I mean, because I think until they are, they're still on our team. You know, and even again, you know, that's what's going to be interesting. That's what it's going to be new to all of us, because if it gets into the summer months, you know, it's unfortunate, but it's too bad that you know, we may be in the same predicament we were last year. These guys are going to be restricted free agents, be tendered. It's going to be last year all over again, and it's unfortunate for them. But so we probably, some of those guys that think they're going to be free agents may not be. If this thing goes
like a Darren Sproles. What do you do with a guy like Sproles if he wants to come hang out and pal around with you guys?
Oh, definitely.
You say, no, man, you got to take a hike.
No, I would love for him to be there. No,
that's because you like him, though.
Yeah, but no, all those guys that again are potential free agents, but they're still on our team as of now. Oh yeah, we want them all there if they want to be there, and but again, understand the predicament they're in. You know what? Who are they? Who are they with? Who are they going to play for? What is, you know, risk any injury? You know, those things all come into play. So it's going to be.
Boy, this is really what you signed up for when you became an NFL player, isn't it?
I'm telling you.
Orchestrating
I didn't know
off-season stuff.
Well, and just how spoiled we are. Really, I mean, I've always appreciated the little things, but you know, from having towels, from having water.
Right.
I mean, seriously, I mean, all
you need
this
a water
is like,
boy now.
I stopped at the gas station and bought 24 waters. You know, it's like you got. I mean, it's like little things that you don't even think about, and then it's coming into, you know, oh man, who's going to set this up? And nobody's, you know, so all those things that have just been taken care of for you now, we're responsible for.
Stopped at the gas station and picked up 24 waters. Got to do what you got to do. Yeah. Right, you got to have drills, you got to have a schedule, you got to have all that stuff. Just like I said, just like you signed up for when you were drafted here. Now, do you miss talking to Norv since the lockout? You guys are not allowed to talk.
Yeah, that not only Norv, but just in general. That's crazy. I mean, it's weird. It definitely is. Just not having that availability. And I don't, you know, even though you may go a week or two or whatever and not have any conversation, the fact that it's completely cut off, it's definitely strange.
And you and Norv probably, I'm just guessing here, would you guys talk a lot in the off season?
Well, yeah, but mostly in person.
Right, because you'd see him at the facility.
Because I'd be up there, because I'd be at the facility. So it'll definitely be, won't be as many ball plays discussed.
No. So did you have like a cram session before the lockout was over?
No, but I mean, he joked like 2 or 3 days before. I was up there in the weight room, and he said, hey, look, now I can't talk to you in 2 days, so, you know, he's coming down there, like, talking plays and everything else. Just,
well, let's say you had, like, one of your kids had a birthday party. You're not allowed to have him over the house. I don't know that you would anyway, but just hypothetically.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure he'd be invited to the birthday party.
No, is he not a good gift giver?
No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I don't know the rules on that exactly. I think, honestly, though, I think if it's something like that, it's just got to be non-football. You can't discuss the lockout. You can't discuss the deal, because if you have mutual friends and you go to a wedding or something, I mean, you know what I mean?
Right.
So you can't go. I mean, you see the person and I can't look at you. I mean, I don't think it's that tight, but I think obviously you can't discuss a plan or.
Oh, right, yeah. Well, I mean, what else do you and Norv talk about besides football?
Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot.
Really? Not a whole lot?
No.
Okay. Well, that's fair enough then. So you're just missing the football stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good. So when do you guys start? Do you have a date? Can people come out? Are you going to let people come out and watch you guys work out?
No, I mean,
is it top secret?
That's the one thing I am trying to keep it pretty secret.
Marty wants to come out and videotape it. Are you going to let her?
Well, I mean, I can't. It's not a private ground, so I don't think I can restrict her. But I'm trying to keep it as quiet as possible.
And you're telling everybody keep it on the down low. Let's keep this quiet. We don't want Marty and Kevin Acey and the pesky San Diego media showing up.
Yeah, I mean that's the plan, but obviously we know that's impossible, because that's just impossible. But we'll try it.
I think you guys should open it to the public. I think that'd be great. It'd be a measure. It'd be a nice token of appreciation for them.
Yeah. Well, hey. If this thing goes throughout the summer, that may be an idea. We'll let you come and set up out there. And
sure.
Everything.
Well, I think you should do it in our parking lot. You guys should work out here.
Yeah, we should have rented out the A1 storage right across from the facility. Rented out, a bunch of the
plenty
garages.
of parking. It can handle the traffic.
Yeah.
All right, Philip Rivers is in studio. It's 4:40. We'll take a quick time out, and it is a very, very nice surprise to see, a pleasant surprise to see Philip Rivers here in studio. Can you stick around for a little bit?
Yeah.
Got some other stuff. We'll bounce off you, NCAA tournament and all that goodness.
Sounds good.
All right, 4:40. Philip Rivers in studio. This is XX 1090. That is hilarious.